Hi, today I'm going to talk to you about Google Classroom. I'm assuming that if you're watching this video, you sort of dipped your toes in the water of Google Classroom. You might have a Google Classroom up and running, and you're looking to sort of level up and find some more of the intermediate features of Google Classroom. In case I haven't met you before, or just as a reminder, my name is Stephanie, and I work at the Santa Cruz County Office of Education as an Ed Tech and Innovation TOSA. I work on both the Tech Plus and the curriculum and instruction teams. And what I love about my job, what I'm really passionate about, is using technology to really support learning, enhance learning, and also from an educator's perspective, to make our lives easier, right? What can we do to sort of simplify our workflow and be more efficient so that we can really focus our energy on teaching and on supporting our students? You see on the screen my email. I answer questions big and small, so please jot down my email, sumarna@santacruzcoe.org. And if something comes up tech-wise in your classroom, if you want me to come visit your classroom and sort of refine your tech setup, or maybe help demo a lesson or support you while you're trying out a new tech tool, please let me know. I'm also available to answer questions via email if you need help troubleshooting. So please reach out to me. I also have on the screen my link for Calendly. And what that does when you go to calendly.com/Sumarna is that you'll be able to book a 30-minute appointment slot with me for whatever you need. So if you need support, words of wisdom, someone to listen, troubleshoot, please connect with me and I'm happy to talk. What that will do is set up a Zoom. We don't have to use the full 30 minutes if it's a quick question. If it's a longer conversation, you can always book multiple 30-minute sessions back to back. So let's dig in to Google Classroom. The agenda for this session, I will post with the video, but that's really the home base. It has a link to the slides, which has all the resources. It has a feedback form if you'd like to offer feedback on the session. You'll also see that my email is linked there. Again, the Calendly link is available if you would like to book an appointment, and my coaching menu. So in today's session, we really have three intended outcomes: that we hone our use of Google Classroom for communication, not only with students, but also with families, that we refine our ability to empower students to take agency over their own learning. That's one of the things that I really appreciate about Google Classroom, is that once you get in the rhythm of using it, of posting assignments, of providing feedback and grades on Google Classroom, it really gives students a clear picture of the assignments ahead, ways that they can work ahead or catch up depending on where they're at, and that it also provides that feedback for them to move forward. If you use the grading system, it enables students to have access to their current grades. If you use feedback, it also is a way for you to communicate with students on their performance. Last but not least, as I mentioned, I'm really passionate about using technology to improve teacher workflow, and I feel like Google Classroom is a really helpful tool for that. So our final outcome is to design practices that improve our teacher workflow to save us time and to be more efficient. What I've done is I've gathered 5 of what I feel are really timely topics about Google Classroom. So how you can use Google Classroom to organize, to improve communication with home and students. Second, how you can create assignments in Google Classroom that reduce confusion. So ways that you can organize and structure your assignments so that students are empowered to take agency over their own learning. They can look at it, understand what they need to do and where to go next. Third, how to utilize due dates in Google Classroom to empower students. It's a really simple feature to turn on. Google Classroom syncs with Google Calendar. And so when you use due dates and you have your students also using Google Calendar, it's really powerful to see how those act as reminders for your students of things that are coming up and helps keep them on track with their learning. Number 4, how to add resources to empower learners and ease your workflow. So there's a lot of things that you can do to sort of supplement and support your assignments on Google Classroom to make them more independent, so that students are able to access them if they're sick. A sub is able to access them if you're out. Ways to really sort of structure your classroom in Google so that students and other people are able to see where they're going, where they're headed, and are able to sort of work at their own pace. And then last but not least, number 5, how to provide feedback in Google Classroom. It can be really empowering for your students, and it's also simple for you to do as a teacher if you set up the systems the way that you like them from the beginning. So what I've done is I'm going to record a video for each of these sections so that you can bounce between the ones that are interested in you. For you. Maybe you're really interested in how to create assignments that are less confusing. You could skip to section 2 and find the video for that there, or maybe you want to watch all 5. So I'm going to go ahead and ask that you pause this recording and visit the slides to skip around between those 5 sections to find learning that works for you. Welcome back. After you've gone ahead and visited those 5 sections, I really want to encourage you to spend some time tinkering, if you haven't already, with your Google Classroom to make sure that you put into practice your new learning so that you build that muscle memory. If you want to keep learning, if you feel inspired, you're in a rhythm, in a flow with Google Classroom, here's 2 resources that I recommend. They're linked in the slide. So if you click on either image, it will open up the resource. Let me tell you a little bit about the 2 resources. The one on the left is by one of my favorite educators. Her name is Dr. Catlin Tucker, and she really specializes in blended learning. And while as a CTE teacher, you might not be focused on how to flip your classroom or how to teach distance learning, a lot of her strategies for blended learning really support students in the physical classroom as well, so that you can set up systems as an educator to enable your students to be more independent. And so she has a great article and video on how to set up your LMS. For us, our learning management system that we're focusing on today is Google Classroom, how to set that up for success so that as you continue to use it, the systems are really refined and work for you and your students. Another educator that I love the content that he creates is Matt Miller. He has a book called Ditch That Textbook, also has a website by the same name. And he has done a lot of interesting things with Google Classroom. And one of his recent blog posts are about other apps that work well with Google Classroom. So if you watched the section on adding resources to assignments, you know that I talked about Screencastify is one of the really great tools that works with Google Classroom. He'll go over some other apps that you can use in conjunction with Google Classroom to even expand your possibilities. So again, both of these articles are posted here. Click on the image. And I just encourage you to follow these 2 people. I find their information really helpful. Just as a reminder, our outcomes for today were to hone our use of Google Classroom for communication, refine our ability to empower students to take agency over their own learning, and for personally to design practices that improve our teacher workflow. I want to remind you, after you've had an opportunity to explore each of those 5 sections, hopefully you've tinkered a little bit in Google Classroom, that I'm so grateful for the time that you spent today on learning a little bit with me. And just want to plug and remind you that I'm available for help anytime. You can reach me via email, and you're also welcome to set up a 30-minute Zoom appointment with me and we can chat. I hope to talk to you soon, and I'd love to see what you're working on in Google Classroom. So please share. Okay, thanks. Bye.